And hello and welcome everyone. Welcome back to Social Saturday Chat. It's the first Social Saturday Chat of 2026. So welcome back to our Social Saturday Chat crew. I'm here with my wonderful co-host Joel, and Zion is back. Zion was taking a break, prioritizing his personal needs, and it was important that we remind people. That's one of the things we talked about is taking care of yourself. But it's great to see Zion back. Mac, we believe, is going to join us because this is his topic, but we are going to kick it off and want to make sure that everyone is able to hear us and let us know where you're watching from. Are you watching, what country, what city, what state? We'd love to hear from you and know what is going on. And I just want to say hello to some people who have already joined us. Oops, I just lost the page there. And it's great to see so many wonderful people already in the chat there. We have, let's get there. Kenny and Nicole and John Werner, thanks for coming. And go ahead and repost the room. Let your network know that we're going on live. Now, if I sound a little bit congested, that's because I've been battling the flu for the last 7 days. Last Saturday, I said I'm starting to feel a little bit out of it, and then I just knocked me out for 5 days, and then the last 2 days we're starting to feel better. It was me, my wife, and son, all three of us, and his girlfriend. She got it too. So, little public service announcement here for you all. If you believe in the vaccinations, get the flu shot because my mother got the flu, thank God, at 93, and she's got such a lower version of it. We got the flu shot too, but she got the second flu shot for the other strand, and it's helped her. Otherwise, mask up if you're around elderly or around people who are, have other illnesses that are, affecting their. See, I can't even think clearly. Their anyways, affect their health. But anyways, remember just to take care of yourself, especially during the cold and flu season. And I'm just telling you from personal experience, I've never had a flu knock me out for 7 days. This one has been brutal, brutal. I mean, I couldn't even get out of bed when my mother fell. And she has a big black eye. Thank God my sister is living with us and she was able to take care of her, get her to the hospital. She's okay. But that's how brutal it was. I couldn't even get out of the bed. I was that weak. So that's my public service announcement for today. And with that, it's a perfect time to do introductions since Mac has joined us. Hello, Mac. I'll just give kudos to Zion for joining us and for the first show of 2026. It's great to see him back. Um, and I was explaining my voice is so bleh. And this is a good thing that you're here because it's your topic and your voice sounds so much better than mine right now. I hope. But I guess we should do a quick round of introductions, or do I want to kick right into? All right. Well, uh, just so I can stop talking, my name is Felipe Confino. For those of you who have not had the pleasure of meeting, I am a passionate HR executive, been doing HR for 30 plus years. And it really is something that many parts of it are passion of mine. Not every part of HR is a passion of mine. I do it well, and I enjoy it, but certain things bring passion. And then things like LinkedIn. I love being here every Saturday with this crew here, being able to give back, share, and network. I also have two other shows, one with Jetty and Ashley Fluellen called the Workplace Wellness Hour, which is coming back in 2 weeks. And then we have the Careers Cast and Coaching with Melissa Houston, and that's coming back as well. Took a little winter break from both shows, and now we're back in January. So keep an eye out for that. And I would miss if I didn't mention that I am a LinkedIn top voice currently for however long they give it to me. So I want to make sure that what we do provide is of value. Make sure that it's not just taken lightly. We're trying to give back a lot, and this crew here works very hard to make sure that we are here consistently every week. So outside of that, I will say that I know it's not fun fact networking day, but I'm going to throw a fun fact there for the dog lovers out there because we all know we talk about our dogs. We got Bailey, we got MacGyver, we got Teddy, we got Copper, we got a lot of dogs. But my future son-in-law, one of the gifts he gave me was this shirt right here. If you want to look at it, it's like all different versions of Copper. Copper wearing his football jersey and hat. Copper out on the beach. Copper out camping. Copper at home. Copper in the backyard. And then my sister got me this sweatshirt that says, let's see if you can read it here. I'm only talking to my dog today. So, just wanted to share those two fun facts. If you ever doubted if I was a dog lover, I think that pretty much solidified it there. So, with that being said, let's hand it over to Joel to do some introductions, and then we'll go around. Oh, and Martha's here too. Well, we got a whole crew here today. All right. All right, Joel, over to you, my friend.
Hello everyone, my name is Joel, although plenty of people already know that. But New Year, new me, sorry, same me, slightly older. And I'm still running, I'm still making my music, running soon to be fun fact, which I know we're not doing today normally, but I'm going to do one anyway. Is that this year I'm actually finally going to be releasing some of my stuff as well. Max already heard most of them, so and later on I'll be sharing what I have on this. Well, I'm going to try and have on this year besides my clothes.
All right, over to Zion. Zion, introduce yourself and tell everybody what's been going on with you, my friend, or what's new.
All right, thank you so much, Felipe, Matt, Joel, Mata. It's so good to be here. For me, I couldn't miss the first edition for the year 2026. I've missed you guys. Being on stage just brought so much memory back, and just to see a whole lot that I've missed on the show. But it's so good to be back, and I want to say a happy New Year 2026 to you, my amazing co-hosts, and every one amazing people in the comment section who are always supporting us. It's so good to be back. A lot has happened behind the scene, but then for the fact that we are here, we are still standing, we are still pushing, we are still holding on. It's what that matters, and I believe there's so much coming up for us in 2026. For those who don't know me, maybe you're hearing my voice for the very first time because it's been a while. I know you don't see my face right now, but hopefully by next week Saturday, you're gonna get to see my face. My name is Zion Inogero. You're Mr. Positive Energy, a man on a mission to spread positivity to every corner of the earth, one person at a time. I'm a positivity coach and mentor for any one organization who are looking forward to teach their team and you want to embrace the power of positivity. Yes, do what you reach out to me. Let's go on a journey of positivity together. And also, for anyone who wants to host event, online event just like this, you want to teach your marketing team on how to host events, on how to bring your services out there to the world and reach out to more people. I do that as well. Because for me, it's all about impact and making a huge difference in the life of people. And I believe in collaboration and positive impact. So for me, that's what I do. And I look forward to having a chat with amazing people like you all who are joining us live and for those who are watching the replay. So it's good to be back and I'm so excited to be in the midst of the team once again. So thank you so much. You do my back to you, Felipe.
Over to Martha and Teddy. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yep, this little boy's over here already. As soon as he heard you guys' voice, he's like, I'm ready to talk. It was silent. uh, Happy New Year's, everybody. I hope everyone's having a great New Year's start of the year. For friends that don't know me, thank you for joining us. If you're new, please join us here on stage. Come introduce yourselves. A little bit about me. I am the founder of Connect Impact Hub. Our mission is to end homelessness. And what we do is we do a lot of volunteer work. That's really what Connect Impact Hub is, supporting unhoused community members on the go. And I'm really stoked about 2026. I got some things going on already. I just got an email Friday, yesterday, for some volunteer work with the local organization here, which I won't be sharing just yet, because I'm still working on a couple things, but I'm really excited about that. And I just think that giving back, any way you can, any of us can do it. So, please connect with me. If we haven't been connected yet, let's have a coffee chat if you'd like to learn a little bit more about me. And I will pass it over to Mac.
Well, the year has kicked off. It is cold as heck over here in London. Our road is so frozen, and we live in a very strange part of the world because we have one road in our area that is iced almost throughout winter, and that's my road. You go 2 roads away, and everybody's driving around like there's nothing happening. But people are slipping and sliding down my road. So happy New Year to everybody. I'm excited for 2026. So excited to have my wonderful co-hosts with me. I know we've got a couple missing at the moment, missing in action, but they will be here as and when they can. Everybody has life happening to them over the last few weeks. And well, that's just life, I guess. We all have things happening. But with that, I just want to say that we appreciate every single one of you for showing up. And for always just supporting us. I mean, I can't believe we're coming up to 4 years in June. We are getting a lot more organized, I promise. I know Joel will laugh, and the rest will just...
I laugh for good reason. You know that, Max.
But little do the co-hosts know, I've been working on in the background on a plan for the rest of this year. So I'll be letting them into that picture, even though they have already made clear how we should improve. So as well as those of you in the audience that have been watching and giving us tips and advice and asking questions, please continue to do so through 2026. If you've got a topic you want us to talk about, drop it in the comments, send us a DM, a smoke signal, anything, just let us know, and we'll put it on the schedule. We'll make it happen. So just a quick intro on myself for those who don't know me. Mac Laubscher, strategic networking and LinkedIn coach. So I'm not your typical kind of LinkedIn person who will show you just how to put a nice picture up in a couple of posts. For me, it's about reverse engineering work that you're already doing. So if you're networking and you're going to expos, or you're going to network meetings, or you're going to events, wherever you are, I help you network more effectively, and using LinkedIn as a tool to really leverage that and build your brand and effectively help people become an authority in the space that they're in on LinkedIn. So if that sounds like something you want to try and figure out this year, feel free to check out my profile. But this year for me is a big year in the sense of all the bigger than me things that I want to focus on. So things like Joel and I are heading out to New York in March. And thank goodness we're going out in March because it's a little bit warmer than it is right now. And then working with many other organizations, I'm looking forward to showing a little bit more, or showing up a little bit more, for people like Martha, as an example, who does such incredible work out there. We can talk about things for ages, but right now in certain cities where it's freezing, and then on the flip side where it's extremely hot, people don't realize we take for granted all the things that we just expect to be there, if that makes sense. So this year I really want to kind of push the boundary on putting yourself in people's shoes, and then working with multiple different charities, and just leaving the world in a better place than we found it. And today's topic, talking about setting goals and mental health, for me is quite an important one, because I'm an extremist when it comes to goals. Like, I'll go, tomorrow I'm taking over the world, I'm going to make all these things happen. And then when tomorrow passes and I kind of go, and then it's like, it's easy to kind of feel flat because you're trying to make too much happen too soon, and you don't set realistic expectations. So I have to temper myself quite often to just aim at doing things that are, 1 or 2 or 3 things, as opposed to then making a list of 100 things that I want to do, and then by the time I get to the end of the list, I'm already out of energy to make anything on the list. So we want to hear your thoughts about goal setting. What are the things that work effectively for you? What are the things that you do to protect your mental health in the process of goal setting and achieving your goals? And just one thought I want to leave you with as we go into this discussion. Many people leave their happiness on the sideline, waiting to be happy when something happens, when they achieve a goal, or when they have something. And the problem with that is that happiness for yourself sits on the sidelines and may or may never come, depending on whether you achieve or arrive at that place that you want to be. So for me, if I could give you one tip, fall in love with the process, fall in love with the journey. And if you can do that, you can be happy on a daily basis. And then when you achieve that goal, hey, well, that's wonderful. But you've been happy the whole way along. So don't give yourself a life of 1 or 2% happiness and 98% misery. Give yourself 98% happiness and 1 or 2% misery. It's a much better life to live, my opinion. So with that, I'm going to hand the mic over to Felipe. And I'm going to ask you just one question, and then we'll just roll from there. And anybody in the audience who wants to come and join, please come and join in. The link will be in the comments. But Felipe, you've got an interesting, I'd say, a place of responsibility, because doing what you do, but also you do things within organizations, then you do things publicly on LinkedIn, and goal settings or goal setting plays a massive role in what you do, because as an HR person, there's the organization's goals, then there's the individual people's goals, and then you've got the people that you work with on an international or external basis. And mental health has become something we're much more aware of, and we talk a bit more about over the last few years. But it's still, not everybody is quite comfortable, especially when it comes to HR, because you don't know whether HR are, the person that's heading up HR is purely focused on the company's outcomes, or they're including the people's outcomes as well. So there could be a lot of mental health challenges for people in organizations that they know what they should be doing, but they still don't because of the fact that the unknown. What are your thoughts? What kind of comes to mind when you think of the experiences you've had, what people are talking about right now? I'm going to leave that open and just see where that goes.
That's you. That's a big can of worms you opened up there. All right. So first, let me say this. If I hadn't personally experienced mental health challenges myself, I'm being honest, I probably wouldn't be as passionate about it as I am. And that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing, actually. What I realized over the last 20 years that I've dealt with this, and mine came as a result of a horrible car accident that resulted in a fatality. I wasn't to blame, but it didn't change what happened and how it impacted me and stayed with me. So let me start off by saying that. And on the flip side, on the HR side, any HR professional that's worth a dime is going to realize the value of mental health and taking care of the human being for two reasons. One, because it's the right thing to do. And two, if you're selfish, then if you don't focus on the human, guess what? AI is going to take over everything else you can do. So go ahead and be obsolete, you horrible HR people that don't care. I'm a little under the weather, so I'm being really honest right now. I realize that, but it's the truth. It's absolutely the truth. And so as far as goal setting, I'll say two things real quick. One, in the workplace, talking professionally where I'm, head of HR, we are actively right now, I'm getting people turning into me, well, not today, Saturday, but yesterday, next week, their goals for 2026. Now, here's how we did it though. We said, hey, we want just really 4 goals, max. One is going to be a big umbrella one that the CEO has said, hey, make one of your goals to support this big organizational drive this year. However you support it in your region, find a way to create a goal that supports that. The next 2, make it specific to your job. What goals do you want to have in your job and your team that you might want to work together? And the 4th one, what's for you? Professional development that you can grow and learn a new skill, and wherever you want to do, get exposed to something. Now, that sounds very basic and simple, nothing new, but guess what? The beautiful thing about it is that it's a conversation where the supervisor and the employee get together, they come up with it together, and then they meet once a quarter to check in on how the progress is doing versus waiting until the end of the year to say, oh, you didn't make your goal. Sorry. Well, wait, what could I have done differently? Well, if you'd done this back in July or back in September, you could have made it, but you didn't. So it's about taking ownership of your goals. But if you're in the workplace and you're a supervisor, check in on them because their success is a reflection of you. All right, end of that part. And the last thing I'll say is this. Personally, what's worked best for me for goal setting, and I'm not even going to talk about SMART goals, which is a valuable thing to run any goal through to make sure that it's a good goal. That's all I'll say about SMART goals. But here's what works for me the best. Everyone remember that old Nike slogan that became very popular? Put it in the chat. If y'all remember the Nike slogan that is the most famous Nike slogan that exists today, put it in the chat. Joel and Martha, feel free to put it in the chat. Clearly, Mac does not remember it, which I thought Mac would be the one that remembered it. Because that slogan, what it did for me was it helped me. That's the logo. That's not the slogan, Mac. Mac went check mark. I'm like, that's the logo. And so, but
It's the bit that goes under the.
Yeah, but that's still the logo. Yeah, but what is the words?
Yeah. But mine is done as opposed to.
All right. Well, let's see. If people put it in the chat, let me just check real quick here. I'm curious.
I'm just stirring the pot as I can.
The chat might be delayed, but here's the benefits of what that slogan said before I tell you what it was, is that it got me to actually accomplish goals. I actually was becoming a doer. I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't worrying about it. I wasn't waiting for something else to happen to do it. I was doing what? Joel and Martha? Unmute. You got to unmute.
Just do it. You were doing it.
Just do it. That's the slogan. Nike slogan. Just do it.
Yep.
Stop sitting on your butt. Do it. Just do it. That means just start doing it. Just continue doing it. Just finish doing it. Whatever it is, just do it.
Yep.
And when I'm like, oh, I should probably wash those dishes. Nope. I'm just going to do it right now. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to finish up this book for Nicole. Nope. I'm going to do it right now. Just do it. And now, the caveat is this. Have your boundaries to make sure you don't burn out. Because if you just do everything you see that you want to do, you're going to burn out. So there is some prioritization, obviously. If you're running out of an appointment and there's some trash to pick up and clean the floor and dishes, no, that's not the right time to just do it. Okay, so there has to be some logic there. But as far as if you're sitting on your butt doing nothing and you're thinking about something, get up and just do it. I'll stop there, Mac, and I'll hand it back to you, whoever's next. That was really long.
I'm gonna jump in with that this whole just do it thing because
you,
hey,
I'll jump in after you because you had word with me.
Good. But it just takes me back literally about 30 years ago. I was sitting and I'd taken on my first real senior role within the hospitality industry, and we had this real short lady who was she was just like dynamite in this tiny little package. But she came in and I was sitting down and having a bit of a review with her, what we were going to do with the group and how we were going to grow things and what we wanted to do. She'd traveled 12 hours drive to come to our head office to come and have a meeting. And I was sitting there and she was like, okay, it's the beginning of the year. We're doing some goals. Let's do this. And I was like, okay. And I went through all this stuff that I'd like to do. And we finished and she went, okay. And she went, what's first on the list? And I went, sorry. And she went, what's first on the list? And I was like, well, I'm not sure what I'm going to do first. And she goes, no, what are we doing right now that we're going to get done today on that list? And I sat there and I was like, oh, okay, well, this is what I'd like to do. And she went, okay, who's involved? What's the plan? Who do we call? Where do we go? Let's go now. And I was like, and I felt like a little bit out of my comfort zone because this felt quite pushy. But by the end of the day, we'd already written off about 5 or 6 things off that list. And it was only on the first day. And I sat there and I was like, now I understand why she is where she is and why she has such an impact in various different industries, because she literally just looks at it and goes, okay, so if I can do it today, let's get it done. And if I can't get it done, who can I delegate to get that done? Because it doesn't always have to be you. And that's one of the things that I've learned the hard way, where when it comes to just do it, it doesn't mean you physically have to do it. I can get political and talk about a certain individual who's done a hell of a lot in the last like 2 years. And I was talking to my wife about it earlier, and I was like, so he's done this, he's done this, he's done this, he's done this. And I'm still trying to figure out how to sort my garage out. And I'm like, it's a matter of intention and decision. And not overthinking it, because that's where the mental health stuff actually kicks in for a lot of people that I've spoken to and myself, is when we get instead of just doing it, we procrastinate, think about it. I know a lot of people that have suffered from depression not because of failure, but because they got so depressed thinking about what they needed to get done, and it played over and over in their head. And then when they actually had to do it, it took 10, 15, 20 minutes, maybe a day to actually do. But they spent months, if not years, literally holding themselves back, thinking about the worst case scenarios, thinking about what they have to do. And that overthinking is so, so dangerous. It's paralysis by analysis, as they say. Anyway.
One thing I will say before you, Joel, is I do think that sometimes some people in this world should have the slogan, stop doing that. Just stop it. And that's a whole other show. What should we stop doing? But and I just want to, Leslie made a point. Leslie and I go back and forth about SMART goals a lot. And I just want to say, you can use the SMART goals however you wish, whatever works for you. The way that I'm talking about intention is you run it. It's like running it through the dishwasher. Make sure it's a clean goal. When you have your goal that this is the goal I think I want to do for this year, run it through the SMART test. Ask it each question of those 5 questions. And if you have an answer for those 5 questions, then you have a SMART goal. That's that simple, y'all. I don't want to complicate what I'm trying to say. It's just, it makes you think, did I think about, this is a little bit too big. It's not specific enough. I'm not going to be able to accomplish this in a year. Let me think about how to be a little more specific. So it's those kind of things that help you fine tune it, clean it up, and have a well thought out goal. That's the ultimate thing, because it is something that came from corporate. Sometimes people think it's a very corporate thing. I use it in my personal life. My wife now uses it in her personal life and sees that value of it. So I 2 things can be true at the same time. So I wanted to share that real quick. And I wanted to welcome some people real quick before we go to Joel, if you don't mind. Obviously, Leslie Flowers. We have Elizabeth Hargrave. Great to see you. Tom Collins in the house. We have Joe Werner. We have Lisa. Leanna, thank you for coming. Jeffrey's in the house. It's great to see you as well. And let's see here. Kenneth Dunner, Jackie Hallberg, William Rochelle, and Azar. And there's one that I cannot read because it's in the language that you're from, and I can't read that language. I'm sorry, but welcome. Whoever said hi to Lisa Fevick and Kenneth. And I think I got everybody. If I didn't, forgive me. But, no, that's it there. William Rochelle, new photo. Sorry. All right, back to you, Max. Sorry. Or over to you, Joel.
Over to which one are you doing, Felipe?
Sorry,
Me or
you,
Max?
Joel, you.
Make up your damn mind.
I'm sick. Leave me alone.
I've had too much whiskey. Can someone remind me what we were doing? What we're saying? What we're going to say?
You were talking about goals and just do it.
You wanted to say something about just do it. When I was saying about the slogan and just do it, you had something to say.
Well, I finally, after several years of saying I want to do this, but I never realized how to do it by writing songs and finally getting to a point where I can actually release them. I've actually written songs now, ready to release. Don't give a crap what they sound like, because there is, and it's taken me a few years to realize if if I keep saying no, that's wrong, then I'm the biggest hypocrite in the arts region because no art is ever wrong. And it would lose the meaning of word art and then become structural homework, which no one enjoys. So I decided to, well, not get off my bum and write, because if I do that, I can't even write because I use my laptop. So I decided to actually take matters into my own hand and just go with it.
So Joel, I'm going to jump in on that because that's an interesting example of people waiting for perfection means things end up never happening. And there's a quote, and I don't know who, correct me if I'm wrong, or if you know who did the quote, drop it in the comments. But about the fact that some of the greatest ideas have been buried in the graveyards because people were just, and think of your idea and set a time frame. Imagine that idea only had 48 hours for you to breathe life into it. And after 48 hours, you had to let go like a helium balloon. You had to let go of that string because, oh, well, somebody else is going to execute it. Because that's the reality, is if you don't do something, somebody else probably will. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And the beauty of it is you can polish it post-production. You can go back and you can do a better version, or and get people to follow you on that journey. Be accountable, be real, and watch out for that procrastination, waiting for something specific to be too perfect, because you've got to ask yourself in 6 months' time, if it still hasn't happened, and it's never going to happen because you haven't done anything, how would you feel then? So action is such a powerful thing. And even if it's just tiny tasks, set yourself things up so that you can feel, and you program yourself with those little rewards of being able to, hey, I've just achieved and tick that thing off. Or, like myself as an example in my house, because I as Felipe knows, I love fish. I had a container with like accessories and stuff in it that's just like, it stared at me for about a year. And I kept going past going, I'm going to get to that. And then one day I walked past it and I was like, what's the delay here? Like, why? And I just went, well, just do it. And I literally picked it up. 15 minutes later, it was all sorted. And I found stuff that I was about to go and buy because I couldn't find it. And it was just there. So, enjoy that process of just getting in. And there's this rule of 15 minutes. Even if you can just commit to doing 15 minutes of whatever the big tasks you want to do, and then see where it goes. I promise you, if you get into the zone like I have in the past, where I'm like, okay, I've done 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden the creative juices are there, and you're going, why didn't I do this sooner? I could do this better, or I could do this, I could do that. Or you might go, yeah, no, it wasn't for me, and then write it off. But I'd love to see what happens, and get people to share, some of the things that they've been putting off, and go into the comments and go and do a commitment to just one thing that you've been putting off for the last year, and put it in the comments and become accountable. And let's see if you can get that done for yourself and see how good you feel. Anyway, I'm talking a lot here. Zion, my friend, you've been very quiet. I know you haven't been around. You've had a lot of things on the go. But I also know the positivity that you bring to the world with all the stuff that you do, and having to protect that positivity over the last year as well. What comes to mind for you when it comes to setting goals, and for our mental health specifically?
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mark.
Zion, can I ask you just to be a little bit closer to the microphone because it sounds very quiet?
All right.
There we go.
All right, thank you so much. Now, thank you, Mark, Felipe, and Joe for the contribution earlier. And I love the fact that this conversation is coming at this point in time, even as we talk about setting goals and how it affects our mental health, because it's the beginning of the year 2026. And I believe millions and billions of people out there in the world are in the process of already they set their goal. For some persons, they are in the process of setting goals, while for some, they are still planning to set their goals. For some, there's no goal yet, you're still thinking about it. It's okay. Whichever category you fall in, I just want to remind you that your goals are valid. So it does not matter who you are, it does not matter where you're from, it does not matter your background, it does not matter what you're currently going through right now. Your goals are valid and your goals are unique to you. And when you realize this, it allows you to take a deep breath of fresh air and relax so you can actually think better and feel the goal better. Because a lot of people set goals with pressure, a whole lot of pressure. Pressure in the sense that we tend to compare our goals with someone else's goals. Take, for example, I'm comparing my goals with Max's goal, or I'm comparing my goals with Martha's goals. You know, I've seen people who have been in this place, and because they are in that loop of constantly comparing their goals with somebody else's goals, it has a way of affecting their mental health. And I will say this, goals should support your mental health, not restrain it. I'll say this again. Your goals should support your mental health and not restrain it. If you are in the process of setting the goal and your mental health is being strained, I think you have to watch out. You have to revisit it. You have to take a pause and look after yourself. Because goals are supposed to be enjoyed. Because it's a journey where you're supposed to enjoy every step along the way, a journey where you're supposed to smile every step along the way, a journey where you're supposed to learn every step along the way. So if you're finding yourself in a place where your goals are straining you, is making you feel overwhelmed, is making you in that place where you're overthinking it too much, I think you really, really have to take a pause and check out what you are not doing right. Because I tell you, goals are very, very important. And if there's one thing I've learned about goal, it's for anyone who has a goal, it gives you a sense of purpose and a sense of direction. So take for example, you have a plan to achieve in 2026, in the next in the first quarter, in the next 6 months, as the case may be. When you have that in mind, it has a way of affecting your decisions, it has a way of affecting your actions, it has a way of affecting your thoughts. Why? Because you have where you are going to. You have a destination, and then you have to put all the pieces together to get there. Now, I will encourage you for anyone who has a goal and maybe you're overthinking it too much or feeling overwhelmed. I will tell you this. Goals, when you set goals, in fact, you don't have it all figured out, to be honest with you. You don't have it all sorted out. You don't have it on a plain paper like this. Yeah, you can have a clue, but at the end of the day, you cannot have it all figured out as you go. There's something I've learned about goal setting. As you go along the road, as you go on the journey, you grow, you evolve, you learn, you get better, and the goal expands. So don't, for most people, we try to overthink it at the goal and say, okay, I need to figure it out from A to Z. No, life is not like that. And it doesn't always work like that. So when you try to have it all figured out, then it becomes overwhelming and directly affects you. So understand that goals are progressive. Yes, they are progressive, and just as you go along the journey, you tend to learn more about it. And that's why for me, I always prioritize progress over perfection. I believe in progress. I believe every day is a new day to try again. Every day is a new day to get better. Every day is a new day to evolve. So I'm not looking to have a perfect goal. I'm not looking to have it all figured out at the first try. What I'm looking forward to is to make progress every step along the way. Is to make progress every day that comes my way. So when I begin to position myself in ways like that, it's really helped me not to be overwhelmed, but then to be able to embrace my goal setting and achieving my goal as a journey and not a destination. And lastly, I will end with this. When it comes to goal setting, there's something I would say again and again and again and again. It's that it doesn't matter the goal you're setting this year. It does not matter how big it is, but for some persons, they feel, oh, this is too big or it's too small. So there is no goal too small not to be a goal, and there is no goal too big not to be a goal. For the fact you can think it, it simply means you can achieve it. It means you have what it takes to get there and be able to achieve your goal. But one thing that you must do, no matter your level of goal, you must learn to believe in your goals. You must learn to believe in your goals. Learn to believe it. Because in the place of believing, then you have all it takes to get it. For me, I always work with this principle. Everything we build in this life is built twice. Anything at all. First, in your mind, and then in reality. So if you can build it in your mind, you can think it, it simply means you have the ability to bring it into reality. So that's why you must learn to believe in your goal and stay positive throughout the journey. The journey of goal setting, it's not all rosy. It's not a straight line. It can go into different directions. But you must understand that challenges is part of the journey. Obstacles is part of the journey. You know, getting through all those is part of the journey. But staying positive through the others, through the challenges, is a real game changer for us not to be overwhelmed and for our mental health not to be affected. So keep believing, stay positive. And I love what Mark said earlier. When it comes to goal setting, it's very important that we build with people. Build with people, build with your tribe. My mentor will always say, your association determines your destination. So the kind of people you associate yourself with in pursuing your goal will determine the destination at the end of the day. So thank you so much everyone for listening. I'll yield my back to you, Mark. You're muted. You're muted.
I love it. I love it. I'll tell you what, after having done hundreds of these lives and I still can't figure out that I put on, unmute myself, it just shows how much potential there is for people out there to do great things. And you don't have to be, if I can do it, anybody can. But going back to what you were saying before I kind of interject and give my thoughts and feedback on that, Martha, I saw you nodding away quite a lot. So I wanted to kind of come to you and see what your thoughts and what you wanted to add to that. Jay, welcome to the stage. We will be with you shortly. He has got a friend with him that we want to hear all about as well. So we will not forget about you, Jay. Don't worry, we'll be there. Martha, over to you.
Yeah, wow, Zion, great share. Thank you so much. We're all on a journey here, and sometimes we may set some goals that may be really high, and we can make ourselves sick, like literally make ourselves sick because we can't meet those expectations for ourselves. And I know, Mac, you mentioned too, like just doing like something small, like, oh, I did one thing today to get closer to that goal. Just last year, I was setting up all these big goals. I burnt out. I was dealing with anxiety and depression, and I got some medical diagnosis now that I'm literally at this moment working through. But this year, I set some health goals, which is a lot different from last year. Last year was all business, and I burnt out and I got sick. This year, my focus is health. Health primary. That's my primary goal now is health first, and then the rest will follow. um, but I think that we're all on our own journey. So I do want to continue to share, like, do not copy. I always hear like these YouTube and these motivational speakers that say, oh, you should follow so and so and copy what they do. But we're all on our own journey. We can't copy what other people do, but we can learn. We can pick some things up from them, but we don't have to copy. We come from different backgrounds. Some of us come from poverty. Some of us come from, middle class families. Some of us come from well off families. Everyone's journey is different. So be very gentle as you start listing your goals out. and saying, if I can't meet that goal, what can I do to work towards that goal? If I set a 3-month deadline goal for myself, okay, and that 3-month mark is coming up, what are you going to do? Are you going to beat yourself up over it, or are you going to change maybe your mind frame? Because that has a lot to do with us too not meeting our goals. Sometimes our own mental health will have us here like stagnant, and I can honestly tell you that for myself. I had myself on a stagnant situation, but again, everyone's in their own journey. A lot of things came up, Mac, as we're all speaking, to be honest, about this mental health, because it is such a sensitive subject too. And we do speak freely about it, but sometimes there's some things that will trigger us, even just in conversation. Just as we were all talking, I'm just sitting here just soaking in everyone's message, because I feel like right now I just need to listen and just tune in. I came in feeling high energy, and right now my energy is kind of like just tune it in, just suck all this in. And that's where I'm at right now. But yeah, I'm coming in with this year strong, and I know a lot of my friends that are here right now are also starting a journey of speaking up about themselves, which is huge. So just be gentle as you take on that journey of showing the world who you are. And just be prepared that sometimes the people on the other side may be very gentle and maybe not. So just be prepared mentally to be out there. Thank you, Mac and Felipe, Joel and Zion. I'm glad you guys are all here with me today, and all of our friends that are listening, and Jay too. Thank you.
Oh, awesome stuff. And it's one of the things that had just kind of stood out for me with what both yourself and Zion were saying. When when it comes to setting goals, a lot of the time we set goals, and it's good to set goals that make us uncomfortable and that's out of our comfort zone, that push us and help us grow. But one of the things that I often see people forget when it comes to setting goals is setting goals based on purely what you haven't already got in your armory. So it's like, I need to achieve this, I need to grow, I need to do more of X, Z, or we have to do more sales, we have to grow the company, we have to, like, all those kind of things. But I very seldomly see people look at themselves and talk about doing you and the things that you are good at and the things that your skills are stronger at than other people. And looking at, as an example, when I look at you, Martha, and I see the amazing things you do, for somebody like yourself, as an example, setting goals that are in line with your mental health, but things that actually make you feel good achieving, as opposed to sitting there focusing on setting goals where the mindset subconsciously is, well, I'm going to fail until I get this done. Does that make sense? So instead, focusing on, well, I know what I'm good at. If I can do that twice today or 3 times today, that's an endorphin hit, because what you're doing is you're reinforcing the good stuff that you've already got. You're sharing that with the world. So, if it was, hey, well, today I'm going to have 3 conversations. I'm going to try and help 3 people that I know probably haven't spoken to anybody since maybe Christmas or the New Year, or because those are skill sets and you can find those people, what to say to the people, you can make them feel good. And by doing those things, not only are you making a difference to them, but you're reinforcing your own subconscious and your own mental health, because you are doing what you're good at. And it's so often that we look at people and we go, oh, well, that person's an idiot because he can't, his math sucks. But in the meantime, the guy can sing for freaking incredibly. Why we always focus on, and it's something that I'm learning as I get older, that sometimes as humans we react to things fairly quickly because it's not because we're good at something, we expect other people just to know, if that makes sense. So we judge fairly quickly, and I'm just talking about me, myself now. And I look at, like, when I'm dealing with my kids, and I'm like, hold on. And I was looking at, having a discussion with my wife earlier today, and we were like, hold on, like, just sit back, take a breath, look at the perspective, and just enjoy the things that people are really good at, and let them do that. Don't focus on the fact that there's a difference in skill sets, because if everybody was the same, the world would be a boring place, and then AI would figure it out anyway and would be out of job. Anyway,
Can I say
that? Go for it, Martha.
Just sorry, one last thing. We're really good at showing up to work, showing up for others, serving all these entities and everything around us, but we're not really good at serving ourselves. And that's something that I'm learning right now through this process, is serving yourself first. I mean, it is a whole process, but it is so well worth it. So just start with you, be gentle with yourself, really tune in and talk to yourself as you're setting your goals, if you haven't already. And if you're getting close to that deadline, just say, it's okay. It's okay. And just remember that you're the one that's drawing your own canvas, right? And that's the beauty about art, is you get to design it the way you want to. So don't forget that it's your journey. All right, I'll pass it back over. Thank you, everybody.
I put it at one
Loving
thing,
this.
because,
Felipe,
Martha,
go for it.
sorry. I love what you said there, Martha. And I think that there's, look, two things. One, when we were talking, Mac, one of the things that I want to make sure people remember is that regardless of what you do, like I said, do what works for you. Don't copy, and all that. But one thing that I want to remind people is kind of like what you were saying, is what are you already good at, and are you able to work on it to even make it better? So whenever and this is more of a life philosophy that I have, not just about goals, but it applies to life too. And I always ask myself, what did I learn? What do I need to do differently to do it better? So what I learned, and what did I do? What do I need to do differently to do it better? And that helps me focus on moving forward versus, oh, what did I screw up? Oh, why did I do it that way? Well, you can't Monday morning quarterback. You can't change the past. So focus on that. The other thing is, figure out what's your umbrella. You might have more than an umbrella. I'm going to share Felipe's 5 umbrellas that I have real quick, and then I'll end it there, because I think having your umbrellas, and what I mean by your umbrellas is really important. Your umbrellas are kind of your non-negotiables of, like, everything you do still got to be able to fall under these umbrellas, okay? Because these umbrellas are your values, your core values, your non-negotiables, your beliefs. So these umbrellas for me, the first one might not be as profound, but is focus. Stay focused on what you're doing, especially being ADD. Don't get distracted so easily. Stay focused. The other one is family and friends. Make sure that I take them along with me as I do what I'm doing. My faith is another umbrella. Forgiveness is a huge umbrella. And I'm going to tell you this why. I've literally watched one of my long-term friends, since we were 3 years old, go from one of the most happy, joyful people to someone who's having so much mental health struggle because she won't forgive anybody and she's very alone. So I'm just sharing that very quickly, because forgiveness, it's not always for them, it's for you too. You gotta be able to move on. And if you want to move on in life, you got to. And the last one is, this applies, insert your own name, Felipe's Wellness, mental, physical, and financial. Make sure I'm thinking about those as I do everything. So those are my umbrellas as I focus on my goal of finishing up my son's children's book that I want to do, of Brady and Lucky, making sure that I finalize this project at work. Those are other goals, but don't let it compromise your umbrellas. So I just wanted to share that real quick, Mac. Over to you. I know Jay's been waiting patiently. So
I tell you what, so many golden nuggets, so little time, and we're still trying to crunch out a few minutes here. Jay, you've been so patient, my friend. Please introduce yourself. Let us know what you want to contribute to this conversation. We've got about 3 to 4 minutes left, so we still have to wrap up everybody else. But what's going on there? I mean, tell us about that friend of yours.
Yeah. Hi Mac. Hi everyone. Happy New Year, everyone. 2026. Oh my gosh. Well, this is obviously Queen Amidala from the movies, Star Wars movies. But I want to contribute to this conversation. When I was looking at the topic, I was thinking to myself, like, setting goals is not just impacting your mental health; it also impacts your physical, financial well-being as well. I think we need to remember that, not only do we have our own goals to set, but companies as well have their own goals to set, right? They have to be able to, companies have to be able to succeed and as well as satisfy the clients that are, going to the company. But at the same time, I feel like I feel like that company goal, we're being pressured to accomplish it by doing certain tasks, and our superiors are telling us that you have to do so and so and so to accomplish those goals so that the company can become successful, right? And I feel like the pressure is that you get that additional pressure from your leaders and superiors. And when that happens, sometimes I feel like, when I go to work every day, I feel like any task that I'm given, it feels like not only am I doing a task, but I also feel like I get a lot of pressure from my superiors, from our leaders. So like every day when I go home, I think about how can I overcome that pressure, you know? So every night I go home and when I after dinner I like to watch a good movie. That helps me relieve the pressure because I don't have to worry about the fact that I'm being pressured by my own superiors. I can freely be me, you know? And I love to be me. Hi Elizabeth. And so it just gives me warm feeling to know that I have something to look forward to at my home. But I go back to the idea that setting goals is actually a good thing because, and I'll give you one more example. Uh, in the Star Wars movies, Princess Leia, she had a goal of, blasting the Death Star into a billion pieces. But how did she accomplish that goal? Well, she had to go through a long journey and she had to make a team. She had to meet Skywalker and Solo and Chewbacca, all those guys, and they eventually came together and they met on a planet and they talked about how to blast the Death Star into a million pieces. That's an example of a goal. And I think in that goal, you learn. We see that she learned so many things. And same thing here, right? When we have a goal, right? How we also can accomplish it by networking, right? Not just virtually, but in person as well. And I think that's really important. And when we have a good network, we can talk to those network connections and say, okay, I'm having this problem. I understand you want to accomplish this goal, but to help me so that I can help you, right? I mean, we don't want to face the pressure. And so I think that's something we have to really think about as a goal setter, you know. But thank you.
Jay, that you bring up such a great point about the fact that when we set goals, it doesn't have to mean that we can only achieve them by exclusively depending on our own skill sets, our own resources, and having to learn all those things. But by networking and collaborating with other people that have already got some of those skill sets, some of that knowledge, it's the old saying of teamwork. Together everyone knows more, and that's the beauty of leverage. When you work as a team, when you've got other people behind you, people that you can bounce ideas off, guaranteed. It's like if we look at AI apps right now, I guarantee there are people that are trying out AI. The app may not be doing what they wanted to do, but there's somebody else in the room that's also using an AI app and it's doing exactly what that person needs it to do. But because people haven't shared information, they don't realize actually there is a solution. You just need to talk to more people, and the answer will be there. But we are running over time. Elizabeth, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Please unmute, introduce yourself.
Thank you. Yes. So I go by my middle name, Joni, but my real name is Elizabeth Joan. So it's weird. It's East Coast thing, and whatever.
Good. So good.
I am a business owner. I am a author. I love to podcast. I do so much to just make the dollar, and it is exhausting. Let me tell you, it is exhausting. And I have so many wonderful friends in this network. I mean, it's good. And so if anyone is feeling lonely, or feeling weird about being just friends with people online, it's okay. It's okay. Don't feel bad. That's a really good connection you can make. And I just want to tell you, Martha, I really loved your share. I thought you were great, and you were just you touched my heart. And Joel, you did too. You were great. And Jay, you are so smart. You are so smart. And I can see it. I can see it right through. So anyways, so I suffered a lot through when I got divorced, and I'm still going through child custody disputes, and that breaks me. And that's why I feel mental health issues. But I am hanging in because I got to be part of this community. So yeah, I'm just never feel ashamed.
Oh, Joni, firstly, that point that you made about the fact that connecting with people that are online, look around this room, look at the people in the audience, look at the people that are commenting. Jay and myself have never been in the same room. We've never met, but he's become a incredible part of our community. Martha, we've had incredible chats. We speak online, but we've never physically met. That whole physical thing, I had the pleasure of meeting Felipe finally, back in July. But I feel like he's my brother from another mother for years. So it doesn't.
I just I don't want anyone to feel ashamed by that.
Not
where even if you're you're 40, whatever, it's okay to find friendship in the most bizarre places, and it is so okay with me. And I have met some of the most wonderful friends who have kept me from sinking. And I think, a lot of people probably who are listening could understand that. But I just wanted to give you guys all a thumbs up, I guess, or, nod to you guys coming on. And I love that I was able to join this. Meryl, you're amazing. Keep it going, bruh.
There we go.
Okay.
Joni, let me say one thing real quick. I just want to commend you, first of all.
These are my kids, bug beds behind me, so just chill. All right.
Jody, you are always showing up with a positive attitude, regardless of what you're going through. I commend you for that, but also for all the stuff that you're dealing with behind the scenes that you probably don't share, that is difficult, and just getting through it and doing all the right things and doing the work that you need to do to make things happen. I just want to let you know that we're all rooting for you and we got your back. All right.
Yeah, I know you do. So that's why it makes me feel okay. Like if I have to go to court once a week to fight for my kids, it's so scary because I have a cheap ass lawyer, and then my ex-husband has like a crazy lawyer, and then I can come and just say hi to some of my friends. That's a really good feeling.
Well, if you keep on doing what's right for your kids, you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
I am not doing anything wrong.
Keep
Thank
showing
you.
up, Joni. Keep showing up. Keep showing up.
Wow.
Okay.
Focus on you and your kids, and focus on what can you do better, not what happened. What can you do better in the future? That's all you can focus on.
Yeah.
I think it's both ways. I think we are in this moment doing our best, and I don't think you need to reach for better. I think a lot of people right now who are listening are really the best. They're the best, and they're not needing to work exactly on being something different. I'm happy to know these people just as they are.
And Jody, it's a great point. And by no means I'm not saying people always have to change themselves, but when the environment changes, sometimes our actions got to change, and that's what I mean. And so that's what it's part of life. I mean, technology alone is an example of how we've had to change to accommodate. So whether it's you're changing yourself for the better or changing because the environment's changed and you're trying to be better that way.
Yeah.
Of course, I understand what you mean. Thank you for allowing me to be on the stage. I know it was the last minute, but thank you. I'll mute
Jody,
myself.
amazing things have happened in the last minutes on this show. So, thank you for joining us. I think something I just want to echo as well is knowing that we just need to meet people where they're at, because our journey, everybody's on a different path. And if we judge somebody, or when it comes to like goal setting and mental health, one of the things that kind of came to mind while you were talking was, that just being present and doing you at that point in time, just because other people are setting different goals doesn't mean you need to be doing the same to feel, a better person. They're on a different journey. So let them do them, you do you, and realize that as we move through these things, one day, every one of us at some point will go through a low day and we'll go through a high day. And unfortunately,
I mean, just ask our grandparents. My granddad was like, I totally sad one day and happy one day. And it was like, okay, what granddad do I get? But it's so good to recognize that everyone right now, right this moment, is good enough. And they all 100%. Have made me happy.
Well, please keep showing up, keep keeping us informed. Just keep being you so that we can all benefit from that. But you can also just be happy to be the best version of what you are in that moment.
Joel, I want to see a little smile. Just come on. I see it. I got you. I got a smile. Woo!
Oh, amazing. Folks, unfortunately, we have to wrap up. We are about 11 minutes over, but well worth going over time. A quick wrap up, if I can hear from the co-hosts, just events that are coming up that we can support you in. If you are watching or listening and you've got an event coming up, or you've got any way that you feel that we can support you right now, whether it's a post that you're struggling to answer a question, or whatever it may be, go and drop in the comments and let us know, what are you doing for your mental health when setting goals, and how we can support you with the Social Saturday Chat community. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to a big year. Let's go to Joel while he's nodding. We're going to start with you, then Zion, then Martha, and then Felipe can just wrap it up and tell you how to find us and follow us. And he does such an amazing job with that. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Right. No immediate events coming up, but I am going to be restarting now. I've realised that we have a tool that allowed me to do this now. Thank you to Mac. To restarting the Fighting for the Right to Party podcast, and also doing some music events as well. Not quite sure when any of those are going to happen, but they're going to happen soon.
And while we're on it with your music events, for everybody who is still watching or has been watching, go and drop a happy birthday for Joel for yesterday. I mean, go and read the post that we put up on Rockstar X's page. It'll just give you a little insight to what the guy's been up to over the last couple of years, and it will blow your mind.
I'm glad you said mine.
Pass the mic.
Yes.
Passing the mic. Where?
Can you hear me?
Zion.
Yep, Zion, we can hear you.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Mark, and everyone. For me, it's been a great event, and I'm so glad to be back and just to be able to be in the same space of amazing people like you. I want to let you know I love you so much, and just to be back means a whole lot for me. And I believe that it's going to be a great thing. For me, I host my positivity event every Friday. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. And this next Friday will be our first event for the year. And it's all about kicking the year off with a positive mindset. And I know it's going to be an amazing conversation. So you can do it to join us. I will send the link into the Institutional Chat group so that we can all see it for anyone who wants to join. So that's that. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone again next week, Saturday.
Thank you, Zion. For me, I set a goal to post every day of this month until the end of this month, and I'll be turning 42 at the end of this month. And so, yeah, I'm working on just sharing a little bit more about myself, and I've been kind of contemplating on starting something around single moms. Going back to that's just kind of been lingering. So if there's single moms that's listening, let's connect. Would like to possibly start having maybe a live event to support single moms, either here in the States or across the world. So, or everywhere, why not? So feel free to connect. And yeah, you guys will hear more about my volunteer that's coming up. I'm really stoked about that, and I'll be sharing more about that journey through Connect Impact Hub. I will pass it over now to Felipe.
All right. Look, we did it. We passed around, Mac, and that was good. Well, everyone, thank you all again for coming. It's been a great episode. I think we've really touched on a lot of important facts. I do want to remind people that, with goal setting, just start and take what you learn and what works for you. And as long as you start, you're moving forward. And on a mental health note, as y'all were talking, something struck me, and I realized, I think we all have a lot of stories of that, especially during the holidays, of that crazy uncle, that crazy grandpa, crazy grandma, whoever it was. And it hit me. They didn't grow up with anyone helping them diagnose their mental health. They didn't have anyone to say, hey, do you need help? No, it was just the way crazy grandpa is, or crazy Jeff is, or crazy Aunt Jane is. And I just think that a lot of times, especially whether it's us or younger generations, it's easy to blame the older generations. Sometimes we got to remember that they don't have the benefits that we did. And I just want to put that out there just for everyone just to absorb, because I think that's, if we're worried about mental health, let's worry about the people that we're blaming that. They may have had a mental health issue too, and nobody cared about them. So I just wanted to put that out into the world for you all to chew on. With that being said, I do want to let you know I do have our 2 shows coming back. Careers Cast and Coaching is coming back with Melissa Houston, and we plan to be back next Sunday, the 11th. And then Workplace Wellness Hour, we plan to be back on Monday, the 19th of January. So look forward to those 2 coming back. And as far as goals, I got to say, I definitely have my personal goals, my work goals. But one of the things I wanted to share is a lot of things I'm trying to do in my goals this year is, like I said earlier, how can I make this better? Things don't always have to change. How can I improve on this? What do I need to learn to improve on this? When you do it that way, it improves. And guess what? You improve because you learn a new skill, hopefully. So hopefully you take away something good. Let us know in the comments what takeaway you have from all the wonderful shares that everyone gave. Whether it was about volunteering, about home life, about your fish tank, about your family, your friends, your kids, your work, whatever it is, share out there, your music, and let us know what was your one takeaway that you really had. And do me one last favor. I'm sorry, my time's up. I guess that's it.
I just so you know, every single person on this podcast just made me so happy, and I appreciate you.
Well, we appreciate it. And if you're not following Social Society Chat, do me a favor. Go to our LinkedIn page, hit the follow section there, and after you hit follow,
I'm following.
Little,
and everyone
right-hand corner of the page, and that way you get notified of all the events that everyone's doing. You get notified of all the events all the other co-hosts are doing as well. And if you want to check out some of the past episodes that we've done, go to your favorite podcast, and you can check out some of the great people that we've interviewed, the great topics we tackled, and some of the amazing network events we've had. So thank you, everyone who joined us. Meryl, Steve, we have Leslie, we had a lot of people actually in the chat. Thank you, everyone. And Mac, any final words before we close up?
I thought I said my final words earlier, but
all right.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
There we go. Martha was going to lead us and start us off in song to Joel. I mean, let's do
all
it.
right. Martha,
let's sing.
Okay.
My birthday's in 5 days, so we could just do it together.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it.
I mean, 44 and a single mom, girl.
Hey. Woo! All right,
Okay,
you
let's
guys
do this.
ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Joel and Joni. Happy birthday, dear Joel and Joni. Happy birthday to you. Woo!
And Joel, I'm also a musician, so we got that going on for Capricorns.
There we go. Folks, don't have an
Thank
amazing
you, everybody.
week. Love to all.
Right, everyone.
See you next week.
Bye.
Same time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.